So Simon and Doug back for a third time. We've got 11 of these myths to go through altogether. So myth number 3 is that Qodeo has is raising a small round indicates success and is more likely to close. Now this is where entrepreneurs think that by having raised some money or raising a little bit of money from somewhere is an indicator of success and will help with their path forward. And we found lots of issues here where, for instance, we raised too little money, particularly in the age of inflation. A particular venture capitalist in our platform said you need to raise more than you ever thought before because things are costing more. And it always takes longer to get where you want to get and cost more, particularly in technology businesses. People think you can build more quickly, and actually the time to exit for technology businesses keeps on getting longer, whilst people think that the likes of AI makes it easier to get to market faster. So, and then you also need to demonstrate financial acumen, because you need to show that you understand what it's going to take to build your business when you're negotiating with VC. What's your take there?
Yeah, I agree fully with these things, especially in an inflationary environment. That could be very problematic to not raise. And if it requires speeding up the time to the next round, then there's a lot of time wasted in contract renegotiation and having to re-prove yourself for the next round. More focusing on that short-termism stuff as opposed to the long-term goal. And that short-termism leads to some things that people describe in academics as window dressing, trying to get your business looking perhaps better than it needs to be for the next round, as opposed to focusing on the longer term goal of getting to an excellent exit and a perfect product outcome. And so the short-termism is really associated with these rounds that are too small. It can be a bit problematic for the entrepreneur, and then the entrepreneur ends up doing things like counting the number of weeks or months until they completely run out of money, and that leads to a lot of stress, and it's not an easy way to live, particularly if the employees get a little bit of a win that things are dire. Then that type of morale within the business, it could be detrimental to everybody's longer term aims and success of the business. So you need to raise at a level that's going to allow you to focus on that long-term goal.
Thanks, Doug. And I think what we've seen at Qodeo also is that a lot of entrepreneurs, particularly, aren't so experienced in the fundraising process or interacting with VCs in particular. Maybe they've had some family fool and friends money, as they call it. And they're trying to minimize the amount of dilution they have, because they think if they raise more, they have to give away more. But actually the whole thing about VC, even though people call VCs vulture capitalists, is venture capitalists, and the VC wins by building your business more. So they want to put in enough to make your business grow to the next stage. And the other thing you mentioned there as well is implied, is that if you underraise, you have to come back more often to raising funds. The more often you come back to raising funds, the less time you spend building your business, and the more you actually will be crushed dilution-wise when you run out of puff, as you were mentioning before. So you need to make always slightly over-raise. And we've also found the other thing interesting with diversity and regional focus we've had is that we've tend to find in particular that both black founders and female founders under-ask. And when you under-ask, that means you often undervalue your business. And when you undervalue or under-ask, then those kind of businesses could be in a tougher spot later. So one of our roles is we've actually been developing at Qodeo, we're called diversity fields, which uses AI to pick up natural language about how those entrepreneurs describe themselves, to give them a bit of a boost and review their profiles, so that we can actually help ensure they seek a little bit more funding, a little bit less timid about what they're seeking, a little bit more comfortable with giving away some equity for that value add the VCs offer, which actually gives them more longevity, even though it sounds in a way counterintuitive, because if I raise more money, maybe I'll give away too much, but actually it buffers you to be able to come back when you do need future funding.